5 things that you should avoid if you solve consulting case studies. Hi, my name is Jonas Niari. I'm a project manager in strategy consulting, and on this channel I want to help you to have a successful career in consulting. And in this video I want to talk about 5 things that you should not do if you solve consulting case studies. And of course, when I prepared for case studies myself back then, when I wanted to join the consulting industry, I practiced and practiced and practiced and made many experiences myself during those case interviews. And nowadays, as a project manager, I'm also involved in the recruiting process of my firm. And of course, I'm also have many experiences with applicants who solve case studies. And based on my own experiences, based on what I see every other week in the interview sessions that I do, I see some common mistakes that people make over and over again. So today I want to talk about 5 things that you should not do if you solve consulting case studies. And let's talk about thing number 1, and this is that you don't get nervous. This is very important because I see that very often, that there is a question that people are not familiar with and then they quickly become very nervous. But you have to expect the unexpected. So be aware that there will be situations where you don't know the answer, you don't know the exact approach, and in this situation you need to stay cool, because the thing is, if you let emotions overcome your approach, then you start making mistakes. And always try to be as rational, as structured as possible, and try to blend out all of the emotions. So this means that even if you are confronted with a situation where you don't know the answer immediately or the approach immediately, stay cool and just try to develop a structured approach. This will really help you to solve the problem. Then, don't number 2 I want to talk about is that you don't take too much time. And time management is so essential if we talk about solving case studies, because in most cases you only have 20 to 30 to 40 minutes time for a case study, and this means that time management is really key in order to get to a solution. So don't do the mistake to take too much time at the beginning or in the middle. If we talk about especially calculations, people lose a lot of time there. Try to simplify it, to get ahead, and really take care about time management. It's very common to also, ask the interviewer if you should go into more detail or if it's okay if you do a shortcut. So this is also something that you can do. So if you're not sure if you should go into the details, then just ask the interviewer, but always keep an eye on your watch in order to stay within the time and to get to a solution within the desired time frame. Don't number 3 is that you don't take shortcuts. I know sometimes there is a situation where you say, okay, I have solved this kind of case many times before, and maybe, I can speed this a little bit up and try to get to the solution a bit more quicker. But don't do this mistake. So very often these case studies are very tricky, and the interviewer wants to see if you have a structured approach and if you think about everything that you should think about in this case. So don't take shortcuts. Also, also, if you know the solution or if you think that you know the approach, don't make a shortcuts. Rather, go through all of the steps of the framework and guide the interviewer through these steps, so that the interviewer understands that you have understood everything and that you also have a structured approach. Don't number 4 is that you don't have to do everything on your own. This is also something that I see frequently, and that's that the interviewee also always tries to solve everything on its own, on his or her own. But the truth is that very often the interviewer is also your partner in crime. So this means that you can ask the interviewer some questions about some numbers. You can ask the interviewer if your approach is right. You can ask the interviewer if you should go more into detail or if it's okay. So involve the interviewer, talk to this person, because very often they have some valuable information for you, and don't think that you have to do everything on your own. And then tip number 4 is that you don't be arrogant. And yes, this sounds strange, but I see this every other time. And this means especially if people are very well prepared or have a very good academic background, they are very self-confident, and then they appear arrogant within the interview. Of course, you want to be self-confident, that's for sure, but don't be arrogant. So always try to be humble, be polite, and even if you think that you nailed it, then don't be too pushy, don't be too arrogant. Rather focus on being humble and making a good impression also on the personal level. Because one thing that consultancies don't want to have is to have consultants who appear to be arrogant in front of the client, because of course this damages the image of the consultancy and is really not helpful if you want to build client relationships. So these are 5 things that you should avoid if you prepare for case interviews in consulting. If you like this video, then please leave a thumb up and also subscribe to this channel. And with that being said, hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Johannes.